What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be making a keto stroganoff. I didn't grow up eating stroganoff, but I did always eat the hamburger helper like beef stroganoff with my brother, and that is like super tasty. If this is anything like that, then I am very excited for this and I can't wait to show you exactly how to make it. We are going to start with a 1 pound ribeye, no bone. So they come bone in, bone out. Get the bone out because we're gonna be slicing this puppy up and it's beautifully marbled. We're not gonna trim off any of the fat either. So you can do chunks or slices. I think I'm gonna go slices, a little untraditional. Okay, so this looks good right here. And we're just gonna quickly season this with some salt and pepper. So now we have a large skillet here and we're gonna heat this to medium-high heat. And in the bottom, there's already a tablespoon of coconut oil, but you can add a tablespoon of avocado oil, lard, tallow, whatever you have on hand. So once this skillet comes up to heat, we're just gonna sear all this meat for a couple minutes. It doesn't have to fully cook through, but we'll quickly sear it and then we're gonna pop it out before we add in the rest of our ingredients. And if you have a small skillet, you can do half at a time so that you can properly sear everything. And while the steak is searing, I'm gonna quickly chop up about 1/3 of a large onion. We're gonna go nice thin slices. Flip this steak. Oh yeah, that looks good. So you can tell most of this is not fully cooked through, but I'm gonna remove it anyway and we're gonna get in our mushrooms and onions. And I'm also gonna turn down the heat to medium. And then we're gonna add in 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter to our hot skillet. So I'm gonna scrape up these little bits here of steak. That's gonna add a lot of nice flavor. And now we are just gonna add in our sliced onion and 8 ounces of pre-sliced baby bell mushrooms that I got from the grocery store. We're gonna saute this around 8 to 10 minutes. Sorry, I'm getting teary from the onions, until everything has really softened and all the moisture from the mushrooms have been released. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and you can tell that the veggies are good because everything is nice and tender. There's no more liquid in the bottom that had been released from the mushrooms. So now we are gonna add 1 cup of broth. You can use beef broth, which would be good, but we have some chicken broth and I think it'll be just as tasty. So we're gonna pour that in and we're gonna scrape up the little bits and we're gonna let this reduce just a little bit. And while that's happening, in a separate bowl, we're gonna add some of the broth and then to that add the sour cream and whisk that in so that we're not just adding the sour cream directly to the hot liquid and we don't want it to separate. So that's good, a couple spoonfuls. And to this broth, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sour cream. Now we're just gonna stir that in. And so now we're just gonna add in our sour cream broth mixture. Give that a nice whisk. And I turned up the heat just a little bit because we are gonna add our steak back in and then we're gonna let that cook for another 5 to 7 minutes. The steak will cook through, get tender in this sauce, and we'll also have evaporated some of the broth so that it'll get nice and thick. I'm gonna add this back in, juices included. Oh yeah, that's a beaut. And we're just gonna let this simmer. And then we will be back to check on it and to taste test this glory. All right, guys, we're back and it has been about 8 minutes and you can see that the sauce is definitely reduced. Everything's fully incorporated and this smells super tasty. So all that's really left to do is serve it up. So a couple routes you can go. You can serve this over cauliflower rice. That would be bomb. Zoodles, that would be delicious. But I would probably just eat this on its own. A lot of protein, a lot of fat because we got a fatty cut of meat and then we got that sour cream and you even got the veggies. So this is like a meal in one skillet. So I'm gonna eat right out of the skillet. It is my kitchen after all. I'm gonna get some onions and some mushrooms in that bite, but it is nice and tender, pull apart. Get that sauce. Yeah, that's stroganoff. I think. That is tasty. So it's nice and creamy, but like not too heavy at all. It's super light because you just have that sour cream. The meat is tender, but also has a nice bite to it. And then you got the onions, the mushrooms, and all the flavors just really meld together. And that's what that simmering at the end, that like 5 to 10 minutes simmer time will really do once you add the meat back in. But this is a really, really great dish. Serve it on its own, serve it with some sides. Your family is gonna be very, very happy. So linked below is the recipe and the instructions exactly on how to make this. And check out all our other main dish recipes. We have a lot of quick dinners like this in one skillet, so easy cleanup, easy preparation. We know you guys are busy and we're super busy too, so these kind of meals we just love to have on hand. Thanks for joining me. Let us know what you think. See you soon.